Sam, why are you grey? Why on earth are you grey? Sai, thank you for the one gifted, by the way. Right off the bat, before we even get going. Thank you so much, you legend. And Wee Man. Basically, before we get going, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. What a bunch of legends. How are you all doing, you wonderful human beings? How is the wonderful world of the Great Hall live chat community on this fine Wednesday evening? How are you doing? I hope you're all doing well. I've had a bit of a meh day, to be fair. I haven't been particularly productive. I did start making a Land Raider, which, you know, is something, isn't it? What do you mean you don't know? How can you not know? Disgusting. Disgusting.
What did we have before we even started?
Sai Beetham with the 1 gifted membership.
Oh.
Yeah, and then Wee Man with the 5. How are you wonderful human beings doing on this fine Wednesday evening? I hope you're all doing well. It's finally snowing. Yeah, we've just had rain all day. My app has told me it snowed all day. What we've actually had is rain all day because we live on the south coast. So we don't get snow because it's a little bit too warm. Adam says, lost my TV remote. Oh, well, you're stuck with us now. So there you go. I started back at the gym. Please congratulate me. No one else will. Congratulations. It's big, that. It's a big deal. Getting back in the gym, Luke. Well done, mate. I went back in on last Monday. I went back in this Monday. I'm supposed to go back in tomorrow, but I'm suffering at the moment quite a lot, actually. Mr. Sven Holier, thank you for 5 gifted memberships. We can keep this going for a while. This is good.
It sounds like all 3 of you have caught another cold.
Yeah, I know.
I think this is the sickest winter we've ever known as a family.
Wait, it's my own fault. Before I got sick last time, I talked about the fact that we hadn't been sick all year, and I don't get sick very often, and that's just battered us for a month.
Boom, yeah.
It's my own fault. Someone up there went, right, dickhead.
Yeah.
Gobbing off, are you? So it's my own fault. It's totally on me. But yeah, I've had a bit of a meh day. It's not been particularly productive. It's been, I'm struggling this week. I'm struggling in general at the moment, to be fair. But we started to build a Land Raider with the flappy doors, because why not? And it got me thinking, because as I'm sure some people will give me stick for, you will notice that the last 2 Tuesdays where we have done live games of Warhammer 40k, live games of Warhammer, sorry, we've done Warhammer 40k. Your mic's making noises.
Oh, that was me. Sorry, chat.
Nope, it's still making noises.
Oh, that wasn't me.
No, it's not you.
No, I'm not sorry, chat.
I think I fixed it.
Have you?
I think I fixed it. You talk for me?
Today is Wednesday. I should really have extracts of the books me and the boys are reading, so when you need to do a sound test, I can give you a quick chapter.
Yeah.
Not a chapter, a paragraph.
It sounds quite nice now, so I think we're okay.
Okay.
I'm going to keep an eye on it anyway, just in case. Mordy Hammer, thank you for the 1 gifted. Brother Erlen, thank you for the 10 gifted memberships as well. Look at you legends. You bunch of heroes. Straight up to...
If you need another sound check, I'll go and get the Roald Dahl book that we're reading. And you can all guess which one it is. Wahaha!
Thank you so much, you wonderful human beings. What was I saying? Yes, so you'll notice the last 2 Tuesdays where we have played a game of something or other, we have actually played Warhammer 40k. On both occasions, both pre-Christmas and yesterday, I said to Joe, what would you like to play? So pre-Christmas, I gave him the choice because it was his birthday celebration stream. And yesterday, I gave him the choice because it's his first game back. I said, what would you want to play? Now, if I'm going to be completely honest with people, what I'm hoping at every point, especially if I'm involved, is he says that what he wants to play is Warhammer 40k. And the reason why I want him to play Warhammer 40k, because that's the game that I want to play at the moment. Much to my surprise, on both occasions, Joe has actually picked Warhammer 40k. Despite the fact that he's like, no, AOS is the best. AOS is the best. I love AOS. I'm like, cool, what game do you want to play? 40k. And so it got me thinking today when I was looking for material to do for the Warhammer show tonight. And the question is in the stream title. And I'm going to throw it out to you lot because it seems that I always do this. Joe's now done this. Everyone typically, not everyone, the majority of people typically pivot back into 40k. And 40k always comes out on top. Whether it's a good edition or a bad edition, whether there's another game system that Games Workshop make or another company make that's better, quite often 40k comes out on top. The sales figures and data is showing us that 40k is doing very well right now. So I ask you the question, chat. It's probably postcardable, but why does 40k always come out on top? Always. How you might be in YouTube jail. That might be the case. That would explain why you're grey, because sometimes if it puts you in jail, it takes your green away, even if you're still a member. It's weird. It's weird.
Dan E got it.
The twits.
The twits.
Yeah, that's the kids. What are they reading though?
The twits.
Yeah, it's the kids. What are they reading though?
Well, me and Ben are reading the twits, and then James is getting really into the Goosebump books.
Yeah.
And the library only had one of them, so I think it's The Return of the Mummy he's reading.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know those really. I know Roald Dahl books. That's about it.
I think we found his genre.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard to get kids reading, and I figured out really late on, way into my adulthood, that it's not that I didn't like reading, I was just reading the wrong stuff. So, you trying to hide a yawn?
I am fucked.
Is that when your eye twitches?
I haven't slept properly for about 4 days now. Don't know why. No particular reason to it that I can tell. Evan, thank you for the 1 gift membership. What a hero. I am fucked though, unfortunately. There's a few times where I may be, and I'm just trying to hide a yawn and not be rude and yawn in your face, chat, to be honest with you. But I could quite happily be in bed right now, I'll be honest. Someone sniped start. No, I don't think she's not got a membership, the Lord of Sins. That's the problem. I think she's got a membership, but it does this weird thing every now and again. And in a minute, she'll comment and it will be green again, just randomly. I reckon if it's what got you in the first place, it's what gets you every time. That's a fair point. So if it's the first hobby you pick up, it's the one that you typically return to, even if you go out and try other things. That's a fair point.
That's true for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's actually probably quite true for a lot of people, actually.
Yeah.
To be fair.
My mum taught me knitting. My dad was long haul bike rides, and I still do
both of them. Yeah. 40k was my first hobby outside of Lego. Lego wasn't a hobby for me as a kid. It was a toy. I think that's different.
Yeah.
But I have returned to it.
Yeah.
Interestingly, a lot later, but I have returned to it. So Lego, I wouldn't call that a hobby back then. That was a toy that I played with rather than I collect it and put it on shelves or whatever. That, you know. But so 40k was definitely my first hobby that wasn't a sport. Mhm. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. My first hobby that wasn't a sport was 40k.
Do you think it's harder now to get kids into hobbies than it's ever been?
Yeah.
I think it is, but because we can't, we're just not as shiny as the computer games are. They light up a whole other part of the brain.
I think
there's no way.
So Luke says, I think 40k is such a unique world that even if the rules are shit, people will gravitate back to it just to live in that world for a little bit and have an excuse to complain, which helps de-stress. The 40k universe, I think, if I'm being honest, is one of the main reasons why it always will come out on top.
I love both, but EOS wins for me because there's no intergalactic space rats in 40k yet.
Yet. I think it's the narrative of 40k that brings people back. And this is where I find that this is where I find that what's it called? Kids, I struggle with getting kids into it. Because to get into the 40k narrative, really they need to read books.
Yeah.
And if you pick up a random 40k novel and read it, it can be difficult to understand what the fuck's going on if you don't have a basic understanding anyway. So it's really hard to get a young 10, 11-year-old into it, right?
I don't even think just Warhammer. Any hobby that's not stimulated by a computer game.
Yeah, I think maybe.
Getting kids
yeah.
into
But I think it's all related though, right? Because what effort do you put in with a video game? Well, you don't. You turn the console on, you put the disc in, or the cartridge if it's the Nintendo or whatever, and and everything's on the screen. Everything's graphically represented in front of you. You don't have to imagine. You don't have to use your imagination. Really,
No.
it's there. It's fed to you direct. Whereas I think 40k is different. You have to read a book and use your imagination. So, see, there you go, Star. I told you you'd be green again. I told you that's how it works. Interesting.
It's the Top Gear meme. This is better, but I like this.
Well, I don't know. What's that mean? Thanks for the 2, Ash, anyway. And thank you for the 5 Rumble Clock, you're a legend.
It's the Top Gear meme.
This is better, but I like this. Where's that meme from? I'm sure I've watched the episode, almost definitely. I'd rather that than the universe is so well fleshed out with a million stories from a million different races. Well, here's the other thing: is 40k is I think for me the ultimate sandbox. It's the ultimate sandbox experience. You can literally create anything you want and it can work. You can find a reason to make it work.
What does sandbox mean?
So if you have a sandbox, a big box just full of sand, what can you create in it? Anything you want.
Okay.
Because it's just so Minecraft is a sandbox experience because you can build, destroy, build again.
Okay. So what's Mario then?
Mario's not sandbox because you don't. Well, Mario Maker arguably could be because you can make levels.
Okay.
That becomes a sandbox
Because
experience.
you referenced Mario as being pedestrian or linear. You used a word like that because you have to go this way.
Old Mario specifically was very linear, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because you progressed through the level, there was no going back. Old Mario, when you moved the camera, they wouldn't let you go back.
I love old
Right?
Mario.
What is sandbox? Where you pee loose, says Wee Man.
Oh, that place. Yeah.
Ash got the quote wrong. Okay, right. Okay.
I don't know what open world is. Demogorgon. I have no idea. Is that a game?
Open world is a game-based phrase. Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
What's that?
So Minecraft is also open world. You can go anywhere, do what you want. It's not. So there's some games.
I find Minecraft really boring.
Yeah, I know you do. Yeah.
I really, whenever the boys ask me to play, I'll play every time because they want me to play with them. But I have to really fight through it. I can't.
So open world
really
is you just do what you fucking want. You go whichever direction you want to go in. So you get so linear games will go. All right, so you've deployed as a soldier to a beach in Normandy in World War II, right? Mm-hmm. And a linear game will say you need to attack that pillbox, and then you can only go a certain way because there's like a barbed wire blocks you off or a vehicle blocks you off, so you can't go anywhere apart from the game says you're going this way. Much like Mario, you're going this way. This is the way you're going. This is the way towards your objective. Open world goes, here you are on the beach, the pillbox is up there, you need to get to it. It's up to you how you get there. You go all the way along the beach and up around the corner, you can go like any way you want to go, you can go. You can go whichever direction you want.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I think I'd actually find the second version really boring again.
So some people don't like the freedom.
No, I don't like the freedom, and I think it's because I need the good boy, well done sort of thing to the box ticking of it.
So again, here is the beauty of Warhammer 40k, because you can collect Space Marines, for example, and you can decide when you're collecting your Space Marines to build and paint a Codex compliant chapter that already exists. So you might decide that you want to be Ultramarines or Black Templars.
Okay.
And so you can buy the Ultramarines models, buy the Ultramarine shoulder pads, paint them the exact colours where there's reference artwork in all the codexes and all the books. And you can even create specific companies. I'm making First Company. They're all veterans. They've all got white helmets. And there's all lore for it. So it's linear. You're making First Company Ultramarines. Very linear. Or you can go, I want to make my own chapter up.
I think I get... Sorry. I think I get bored with the freedom.
Some people do. Some people absolutely do.
That sounds
But
how have you done that?
But what I'm saying is the one of the benefits I think to 40k is you can literally do either. So it appeals to both demographics, which is genius, quite frankly, because you can step outside the narrative. So a lot of people, Bolt Action is another tabletop game that Joe loves, which we're bringing to the channel in the near future as a try, just to have a go of a new game on stream, right? Bolt Action, however, is a game where a lot of the audience don't like the open worldness of people doing what they want.
Yeah.
No, that's not historically accurate. So they make it quite linear. Like that, those tanks wouldn't operate with those jeeps. That's not right.
Did you ever play a game called Mario Sunshine?
No.
It's a game where this like paint monster has completely covered this lovely town in paint splotches. I actually felt my anxiety go down because you get to clean. You clean off the paint splotches.
I just need to bring you to the studio once a week.
No, I'm not cleaning up after Joe.
But you get to clean.
There's no mental reward for cleaning up after Joe because
It ends
there's
up
just
being
another
clean.
mess the minute he moves.
Keanon, thank you for the 10 gifted memberships. Jesus. Up to 34 already. You lunatics. Thank you so much. Oh, not 344, no. The problem with Minecraft is it's too open. They need to give you objectives. I mean, it's not so open if you go on survival, kind of. Open world Hitman is brilliant. One mission and Up to how you complete it. Yeah, Codex compliant and Black Templar in the same sentence. How dare you? But you know what I mean, though, right? You can be Templar compliant, right? You can quite literally build your Templars exactly how the Templars are. You can follow all the box art. You can follow Helbrecht's box art. You can follow the Templars box art. You can put all the right markings in the right places. You can put all the chapter symbols in the right places. You can do that for everything. Okay, you can do that for everything at all, right? It's like when you're building Space Marines, you can put your Ultramarine symbol on the left shoulder pad. And why do the chapter symbols go on the left shoulder pad? So when you've got your bolt gun aimed at your opponent, you're showing your chapter symbol to the enemy. That's why they have them on the left shoulder pad. There's lore behind it. It's why it happens.
What if you're left-handed? So you're
get the bin. Get the bin if you're left-handed. No, right-handed. Right, they're Space Marines. Do as they're told. So,
okay.
So there's narrative behind it. What you can do if you want to, put a chapter symbol on the right hand side. If you want to, you could.
You could be like, he's left-handed, so.
I mean, you could.
It has to go on the other
But this is
side.
what I'm saying is it's very appealing to everybody, right? You can follow something chapter or craft world or Hive Fleet specific, or you can go, I want to create my own Tyranid Hive Fleet, and they're going to be bright pink and luminous yellow because that's what I want to do. And you can, and there's nothing against it at all. And because of the way the universe has been built, you can choose the segmentum that they come from and be like, they're over there. No one can tell me they're not. And that's the beauty of 40k, I think. And then the other person who, like you, prefers linear goes, and my Ultramarines are perfectly Codex compliant.
I didn't realise that I'm a bit of a completionist until I finished the Mario Deluxe game on the Switch, and I went, right, I've done Bowser. Let's go back through it and pick up all the stuff now. I didn't realise that's who I was. I thought once I completed it, I'd move on.
Yeah.
But it just feels really unfinished.
I'm not a completionist at all.
So I think I'm a completionist.
I'm not a completionist at all.
So I'm now 2 years on the game.
I trigger so many people. Joe gets a literal itch where if he sees my Audible. Because he'll see a Warhammer book that's, say, 8 hours and 50 minutes long, right? And then there'll be 7 hours through it. And that stopped 6 months ago and I didn't finish it. He's like, you didn't do the last hour and 50. Like, nah, I got bored. He said, but you've done 7 hours. Yeah, I got bored.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I guess if the inclination isn't there, it's just a fight. So you're not taking in the information anyway.
Well, this is where learning about the ADHD part of my brain comes into play and allows me to forgive myself for just not finishing it. Because I'm like, if I force it, I won't take it and I won't enjoy it. What's the point? I'll probably come back to it later. And there's one book where I can't remember which book it was, where I tried to listen to it 3 times and every time got nearly towards the end and then didn't. And then on the 4th occasion, finished it and enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, at some point I might get to it. I've done it with films. I've got like halfway through a film and gone, yeah, I'm not liking this, just turned off.
There's one film that I got maybe 10 minutes into and I just couldn't follow it, and that was Oppenheimer. And it's not that it's jumpy, because there's other films I've watched where it's timeline jumpy. It's just, I think it's just too smart for me. I have no idea what's going on.
So that's a film that I have not yet watched, really wanted to watch. The reviews were all really, really good. We sat down together, watched the first half an hour. You said you can't do it. We turned it off. I've never gone back to it.
I tried on my own. That was the 10-minute one. And when you said, oh, I want to watch it, I thought, well, I actually have a bit of a head start. So for at least 10 minutes, I know more than he does. No, I don't. It's still too smart for me. I don't know what's going on. All I know is the guy out of Batman's in it. That's all I know.
Warhammer being a hobby and a game at the same time is a major driver, I think. That's a fair point. 40k, though. A lefty chapter with right marked shoulder pads and all holding weapons in a left hand grip is genius. The trophies and achievements make you have to 100% games now. I don't 100% them. I don't. Speaking of books, how's Hell's Reach going? I was going to sit and put it on today, and I've been in a fucking foul mood all day, so I haven't put it on. Because if I'm in a bad mood like that, I won't listen to it. I would just be sat here bubbling away. So I haven't. I sat here fighting with an old. I forgot how old these kits are, by the way. I forgot how incredibly old these kits are. Not fun to build, believe it or not. Thought, oh, I'll build a Land Rover to chill me out. Wasn't the case. Just irritated me even more. And then what I've suffered with lately as well is mad decision paralysis. Do you get that?
Yeah, there's too much options. Too many options, and I'm not. It's too much. I can't.
My Templars army that I'm doing is very triad in terms of like I think at some point in the future I'd like to enter a painting competition.
You so should. You should enter the one you were showing in Thames every 5 minutes. You should definitely enter that one.
I think it was more frequent than that. And so I want to do really well. So I've got this fucking tank, right? And what they've done is they've made this top piece loose, separate, right? So when you slot it in, he says, when you slot it in, there's join lines all down the side here and here. You see the join lines? Mm-hmm. So I want to fill them all in and sand them so they all go away. Because it shouldn't be there. This is a piece of metal, right? But Waller, my mate, has told me to leave the tracks off and paint them separately. And he wins Golden Demon, so I'm listening to him because I want to do well on my painting. But now I don't know if I leave this off, paint it, put the tracks on, put that on, and then I don't get rid of the join line. I don't know what to do next, so I stopped.
Maybe try the 5 whys.
Oh.
You know, like, why are you in a bad mood? Because of this. Why because of that? You do your 5 whys to get to the root cause of your shitty mood. Your words, not mine.
It's been a shitty mood for like days. For days. And yesterday, it was like bad mood, all cheerful on content, bad mood, all cheerful on content. That's hard work.
Yeah.
That's hard work, that. Acting up. A lady shat on the floor of the toilets. We think it was a top boss at work. Thanks for sharing, Dave.
What?
Thanks for sharing.
A lady shat on the floor.
Yeah.
I thought you said I nearly shat.
No, not I didn't.
No, as in Dave said I nearly shat.
No.
Oh my word.
Paint anxiety. Have you seen there's a guide for using plastic and sprue goo to make accurate weld lines? No, I don't need weld lines. I need to smooth it out. Why would I be searching for a guide for weld lines? I just need to smooth it out. Don't make stupid comments tonight, Ash. She's in a bad mood. I get decision paralysis over getting up in the morning. Preach, Kai. Preach. Absolutely. Put the lid on, see if you can squeeze the tracks in afterwards. Yeah, but that means cutting all the tracks out now, and I don't want to lose bits.
Another win for 40k is other games lack players.
Do we know? Thank you for the tube, dude. Do we know the actual? Oh, by the way, super chats right now. £8.88. Love it. Do we know the ratio of 40k to AOS players? Is there data out there that we can find that out now, like, as is, or is it just we have to wait for GW to release those numbers? Have you checked on the studio floor? No, I don't think Joe would. Maybe he would. Did I see the release on the Warhammer YouTube channel? No, what release? Sprue goo can also use to smooth it out. Yeah, I know how to smooth out those gaps. It's about whether I do that now and then try and put the tracks on later, or whether I put the tracks on and paint them on the tank, which is what Joe says to do, or whether I leave them off because that's what Martin says to do, and then leave the top off and accept the fact there's going to be a gap there. And I went to Martin's Instagram to find his Land Raider that he's posted on there from ages ago, and he left the gaps there. Or I don't know what to do. 40k is a default game in most stores. Yeah, it is, but why? I feel like there's got to be a reason for it. There's got to be a reason for it. I wonder, hang on. I'm going to see if I can get some information. Very quickly, right now. He says, not being able to find the person who I need to ask the information from. So Beachhead, they've just sold 200 tickets to the 40k event. Do you know how many players for AOS event?
I have decided.
Research.
I really like my pen topper.
Why?
Because when I'm thinking and I put my pen on my mouth, Santa's hat sits on the Cupid's bow bit of your lip perfectly. It's like it was made for me. My stepmom got this for Ben. I have robbed it because Ben won't appreciate Santa's hat.
When do you do your thinking?
Like this. All the time, babe. You just miss it.
Do I?
All the time I look like this. And you miss it.
Okay, so here we go. Right.
I have some world-changing thoughts and you miss them.
40k event at Beachhead, 200 tickets sold. AOS event at Beachhead, 60.
See, look, I just did it then.
What are you thinking about?
I'm listening to you, thinking about...
That's not thinking then, is it? That's just listening, you fucking lunatic. That's not thinking. Listening's not thinking.
Listening and thinking can happen together.
Apparently, there's 15% of AOS players compared to 40k being 100%. That seems low. I would have reckoned it'd be more than that. 4-to-1 is what I would reckon, Des, to be fair. About 25% of the player base. AOS is fairly new. But AOS isn't fairly new, Paul, is it now? AOS is a decade in. I wouldn't call that new anymore. A newborn stops being a newborn after 6 months old. Are you weathering the tracks? Are you making them muddy? If so, put them on, paint them the colour of mud, paint the tank, and then dry brush with metal colour, problem solved. I don't know what I'm doing with them yet, if I'm honest with you, Tim. I haven't decided. 60 AOS ticket sounds great. It's probably more than I expected, actually. 240k, 80 Blood Bowl, 60 Titanicus. Titanicus got as many players as AOS. More Blood Bowl players than AOS players. Did Luce come into frame for a second? No, it's a dog. What are you saying, Sam?
Might be because I was talking about Santa's hats like this.
Compared to 40, yeah, 40 is a 40k. I guess if you take the whole thing into consideration, but if you think about new 40k, quote unquote, like post 7th edition, that's also been about 10 years as well. So I don't know. I don't feel like it's that new anymore. 176 people in 40k, 79 AOS. Interesting. How many are... this is interesting data, actually. How many are duplicates, though, nobody? Of those 176 people, how many of those are also part of the 79 in AOS? AOS just doesn't have the 40k levels of story and theme over the past 40 years. I agree with that. Right, Luce, you can get everyone to send one postcard right now. What's it about? I've just seen you thinking for the last 5 minutes.
Okay. It is about their first ever toy that they remember.
That's actually quite a good one. I quite like that one.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, that's quite
I
a
do
good
my
one.
best thinking with Santa on my Cupid's bow.
Yeah.
Didn't you know?
Mm-hmm.
Help. I'm so close to pulling a shoulder muscle, it hurts when I laugh.
Help. I've just got into AOS from this new edition though. Yeah, no, I get it. I just, in terms of like narrative, like 40k hasn't really changed, has it? To be fair, well, it has. 40k narrative has changed quite a lot, but the core concept of 40k narrative hasn't really changed for the majority of the 40 years. I mean, it didn't start with the 18 Primarchs and all that. That's not how it started 40 years ago. It was a bit different back then. It has evolved and changed, but it still has maintained the same universe and similar themes. Whereas old world being destroyed and or the old fantasy being destroyed and AOS coming into being is only a decade old. I'll give you that 100% agree with you there, right? Absolutely. That being said, in terms of game systems, 7th edition's reset into 8th, where we kind of still see some similarities now. I think that is about a decade old, and AOS as a game system is very similar to when it launched. It's about a decade old, although the launch of AOS was very, very rocky. The first Games Workshop definitely aimed 2 shotguns at their own feet and pulled the triggers when they launched AOS, I think, post Old World. They took a very detailed, very, very, very strategic game, and they went, get rid of all the strategy and detail, and we won't even put points values on. And we'll put stupid rules in where if you've got a bigger beard than your opponent, you get a bonus. And if you're wearing a bow tie, you get a bonus, stuff like that, right? And it was the Wild West. I don't think they did themselves any favours there, because if they're going to try and entice the old world crowd into playing AOS, then at that point you really needed to not be that crazy with your rule set, and they definitely didn't think that one through, I don't think. And eventually they brought in their own point system because the community themselves essentially tried to self-manage and self-police, and Games Workshop went, we need to fix this. They brought in points values and stuff, and we have the iteration now, and AOS is a fucking fantastic game right now. And here's my point. This is my point, though. AOS is a fantastic game right now. AOS is a great game. AOS is a brilliant game with a phenomenal model set. There is no real bad about it as far as I'm concerned at the moment. The AOS team get a lot more things right than the 40k team do. There's less controversy, there's less issues, there's less stupidity, there's less rules errors and typos. I think AOS is a fantastic game with an incredible model set, and yet even I have gone, yeah, it was good, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed 6 months of AOS, really enjoyed 6 months of AOS. Anyway, back to 40k. And Joe, who maintained that he hated 40k now and AOS was the best thing ever and he just wants to play AOS all the time, is now back to 40k as well. He's even done the same thing. Right? He's even done the same thing. He's even gone, like he was trying to say to me on Tuesday about how much AOS is great. I fucking love AOS. It's really, really good. I'm like, cool. What do you want to play tonight? 40k. Right? So it's interesting. I just find it really interesting that we've both him and I, over the course of the last month or two, have defaulted back to 40k as the game that we want to play and we're enjoying playing more, despite the fact that we think perhaps AOS is a better overall game. AOS is a bit boring for me. Boring is the word I'm using, Kai, with it a lot. Actually, that's not entirely fair. The biggest thing, I think, the biggest thing I can say about AOS is a lack of excitement rather than boring.
One of the earliest toys I remember having was Hot Wheels Ferrari, which has only been released once.
Oh, wow. I bet if that was kept in a box in mint condition, it'd be worth some money now. Clive, thank you for the $5, man. Clive listened to you and he did yeah, what a legend. He's just saying that because he doesn't want to dress up a fire setter. Forgot about that. Love it. I forgot about that one. I'd say maybe it's love for 40k as a whole product. I think that's probably true, yeah. There's so many novels and lore channels and video games for 40k that you can dive into alongside the tabletop. It's probably fair. The thing is that pisses me off, we're 18 months into 10th and still don't have all the codexes out. I mean that's fair, yeah. But that's not going to be a 40k exclusive thing. That's going to be AOS as well, right? Because ultimately AOS at that point is going to follow the same, because it's to do with revenue generation.
First toy I remember was the Red Gullwing car, Corvette maybe, driven by Matt Tracker.
The first one I remember was a Red Gullwing car. Amazing. What's the first toy you remember, Luce?
Much as I meme on fickle influencers, it's literally spacemen greater than all. It's why Starfield has been crowdfunded for $700 million and Star Wars is still valid.
That's interesting. Why, though? Why is it Spacemen greater than all? There's got to be a reason, Kaz, why we think it's Spacemen greater than all. Question, did you love Top Gear because the cars are pretty and they reviewed them like proper car review program, or did you prefer the banter and mad random projects? The latter for me, 100%. I like cars. I would consider myself a motor enthusiast to a point, but I didn't give a fuck about what cars I were driving, or really, towards the end, I didn't give a shit. I prefer playing AOS as a narrative story without much competition, whereas 40k it all seems competitive and humans like to compete with each other. They do, yeah. Yeah, anyway, thank you for Dats and Des and for Clive for joining in on the toy conversation. What was your first toy that you remember?
I don't really, this sounds really bizarre. I don't have very many memories of me as a kiddie kid.
Tried to block that out.
I wonder, did I? Because I don't have very many memories. So there's photos of me playing with toys that I must have loved playing with because they looked a bit battered and broken in the picture. But there's a cuddly toy upstairs that I've had since I was 4, and I only know that I was 4 because of a photograph. I don't actually remember.
I don't remember my first... I have cuddly toys, but I don't remember... Because one of them is still upstairs, like my first ever one is still upstairs in James's room.
Yeah.
It was handed down to me, and it's now been handed down to him.
Yeah.
But actual toy... I remember loads, but I don't remember the first one.
No. But this is something else that I was told.
Screwball Scramble, the maze bit can do one still.
Thank you, Adam, for the 2, dude. What a legend. Screwball Scramble.
The first toy I remember was one. I was a baby, it was Winnie the Pooh cuddly teddy bear. I am now heading for 31 years.
Do you remember as a baby though, or is this you got to an age and remembered still having it, Lehman, interestingly? We had a bunch of Lego. I remember a number of Lego gifts that we had through like Christmases and birthdays. We had tons of like action figures and stuff. Actually, one of the first ones I remember was they would be worth a fucking fortune now. Little Star Wars figures like this big.
My first toy was my Willy.
Thanks, Dave.
Didn't like big toys then.
Size, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Polly Pocket.
Pocket penis.
First toys I recall are TMNT action figures.
Turtles rule. There was shark head action figures we had. They were cool. I don't know what they were called. Shark men things. Shark dudes.
Mine was Teddy Ruxpin.
Look at you lot. Amazing. But I had these little tiny little Star Wars action figures from the original 3 films from episodes 4, 5, and 6, right? And the other day, this was maybe a couple of years ago, we were, in fact it was a number of years ago, we were sat on night shift at Northern Depot.
Oh, this was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 years ago, minimum.
First toy I remember is a giant metal dump truck. Yeeted it down the stairs and cracked the wooden floorboards.
Good man.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I'm sure your parents weren't happy. So we were sat watching we had something on the telly at night shift. Dead, trains were all good, everything was fixed, waiting for the morning shift. Sat there with this program on. This is like auction program that comes on, right?
Both 40k and fantasies/old world play off actual history, so there's a natural connection to the settings. EOS is a victim of almost being too creative.
I still think it's almost... The rule set is almost too chess-like now. I think it's too... It's not random enough. It's too clinical.
Strike Force action toys I remember well. Smiley face.
It's amazing how many people remembering their first toys. You fucking legends.
First toy I can recall is Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh, I had an old Thomas. Of course. Everyone had a Thomas.
First toy I remember was a broken Batmobile. No memories of it unbroken, still loved it.
Broken man. My brother and I.
First toy I remember is Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi figure. I bit his head off before I got home and got yelled at. It was 1979 and I was 4.
That's amazing.
I bit his head off.
I bit his head before I got home. So those figures, we were watching that program, right? And those figures came up with this fucking auction site. And they were worth a fortune.
Oh, wow.
I think 40k is propped up mostly by nostalgia and the iconic Space Marine. I prefer EOS, but you're not wrong when you talk lack of excitement. I'm actually with you there. Loath as I am to admit it.
Elect Man with a hat trick.
Yeah.
Thank you, Elect Man. What a legend. Christopher Sanford, thank you for the one gifted as well. So, the thing is, Elect Man, right, in seriousness, is the rule. I would go as far as to say this is a weird criticism to have, but it also puts things into perspective for me for 40k. I would argue the rule set is almost too perfect. So it's become chess. And little did I know, until I am presented with this near perfect rule set, that I love random dice rolls far too much. I love craziness far too much. But the way that you score points in AOS, it's almost too chess. It's just, there's a lack of excitement that happens. And it's a lack of, the amount of times in AOS I run a big character into something, I'm like, that'll kill it, and it doesn't. I'm like, oh, I'm wildly underwhelmed now. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of the feel I get from it, if I'm honest.
Me and my brother had Star Wars toys, the Millennium Falcon, AT&T, probably most of the toy range, worth thousands, destroy most of them in our bond.
Exactly, wee man. So our little figures were out in the garden, they got covered in mud, and they went in the fucking spladded pool, we went in the bath, and they were buggered by the end of it. And then it's like, new inbox, this thing is worth. You're like, what? Jesus fucking Christ.
Why did you let me play with
Yeah,
it?
ours ended up in literally the bin. Yeah, but I guess at the point that parents buy them and give them to you, you're never going to know the value of these things, are you?
First toys I remember Disney Prince action figures.
I didn't have one of those.
Most of my like childhood memories are being out and playing down near the brook or playing with the neighborhood kids. Playing with toys, not very many memories.
We used to play with toys literally in the front garden with some of the neighborhood kids who'd bring their toys over.
Yeah,
That would happen. Little action figures. Maybe it's a boy versus girl thing, but
yeah, I don't know. I don't think there was very many girls on my street, so I spent most of my summers catching grasshoppers in jam jars.
yeah.
And I definitely came away from the sort of the biggest chaos. So I would play things like Tracker or British Bulldog or Sardines. I'd play stuff like that. But if it got really loud and concentrated, I'd come away.
Yeah.
And I'd play quietly somewhere else. But I don't think there was that many girls. So
I
maybe it is a boy versus girls thing.
My brother and I used to get home from school frequently and change straight out. And then there was a little where you won't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Where we drive into Mum and Dad's street, there's like that little triangle area, right? Mm-hmm. That used to all be grass, okay? And there was 2 trees. And so we get home from school, get changed, dinner, get changed, can we go play on the triangle? Right, that's what we would ask.
Aww.
Literally like 2 houses down. And those two trees, guess what they were? Goalposts.
Yeah.
And so that triangle of houses that live around that triangle, I think they used to go, oh, for fuck's sake, they've got a fucking football out again.
Did it make you sad when your street started to change shape?
Do you know why is it started to change shape?
That's not what I'm asking. Did it make you sad?
Yes, but for a wider reason. Why did it start to change shape?
I don't know. I didn't live there, babe.
Cars. It's the same reason that everything. Like, why is our street fucking crowded constantly? Cars.
Yeah.
Cars everywhere.
My street used to be a crescent, and they made a housing estate. What are you laughing at?
Paul says, Chrysley's. When did you grow up? 1812?
No, honestly. And it's these little like mind-blowing moments where I go, oh man, I think I'm on the spectrum, because what kid does that, really?
Sorry, I saw that and instantly laughed. Like, sometimes when you listen to my wife, you would believe it.
Yeah. So I used to live on a crescent, and they turned the top part of the crescent into pretty much a racetrack because they built a Wimpy Homes housing estate at the end, which is on a floodplain. All the parents talking about it of those houses are gonna slide, they're gonna get cracked. And then our street that we used to play Kirby on, you couldn't anymore because it was just a great straight line for cars to get up to 60 easily. Paul literally says in chat, nowhere to play Kirby now. Yeah,
he's right. So where we come onto Mum and Dad's road, there's that little bit of road there. We would play Kirby there all the time. Me and my brother. You can't now, not because of your reason where it's a racetrack, but because there's literally cars parked all the way up, so you can't get to the curb for cars.
We had a great Kirby spot. We had a proper camber in the road. It was a great Kirby spot.
I'm a fan of them.
Kirby. Freddy Flyaway Footy and an empty street.
Love it. But you can't do it now. I wouldn't be comfortable with the kids playing out the front of the house now with the way people drive around our street.
Oh, no way.
Like fucking dickheads. And even then, you know, more than anyone, how many cars and vans and stuff are just parked everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. And people don't seem to give a fuck where they park now either. That's the other thing. Like, fully parked opposite a T-junction. Great. I mean, how do I get it out or in here, you fucking idiot? What the fuck is Kirby?
Oh my god!
I don't know if we've got time for this, I'll be honest. Scare Electrics. We had a Scare Electric set.
Kirby is when you get a football and you have to, you can play it on your own, but it's best with another person. And you have to throw the ball so it bounces perfectly back towards you on the hinge of the curb opposite.
So where the curb sits like this, so you've got road camber into curb for footpath, right? You'd throw the ball, it would hit that corner and bounce straight back again.
Yeah.
But to be fair, if he's American, right, they've got to have a fucking long throw to get across those roads. So it's probably not.
And I think I remember the scoring system. If you threw it overhead, and it bounced back, you got something like 2 points, and then you could go halfway into the road and get top-up points.
I don't remember.
If you threw it chest height, because you got to let the littlies play and give them a fighting chance, then you got 1 point and got it.
Yeah.
I think that was it. But you'd always end up with this like bulbous part in the ball.
I loved my action men, with gripping hands and moving eagle eyes. I set them up in the back garden and stole my mum's camera and took loads of pictures. She was furious when she spent money on getting them processed.
Oh yeah, not just go in and delete anymore. Like, film's all used up.
Oh, okay. So then I have another postcard question.
I miss old cameras.
Your favourite toy, did you end up making a career out of the job? So you used to play with helicopters.
I did, yeah. I liked helicopters.
And you ended up becoming...
I had this fucking fantastically great bit about this big Lego rescue helicopter, right?
Uh-huh.
It had a little arm that came out. You could winch the little winch down, little man hanging off it. It was fucking great. Big old helicopter, that was my favourite Lego set, one of them.
And then you ended up being an engineer in the army.
Yeah.
So did your favourite toy
influence
your career choice?
Well, even more so now. One of my favourite toys as a kid was Warhammer.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there you go.
Well, there you go.
There you go, chat. Thank you for the super chats, you wonderful human beings. Anyway, thank you, Christopher, for that one. We are now on 35 of the finest gifted memberships. We're just 15 away from halfway. You sexy people. You sexy, sexy people. The dog has gone mental. The dog. I found out what's sending her loopy.
She just jumped up as you raised your hand.
The fidget spinner sends a loopy.
I wonder if it's the shh.
She goes
sound.
and gets her toilet. You want me to throw your ball?
She's too cute.
Give it here. You didn't put the floor, you knob. I'm sat here, aren't I? Lego cities from the 80s, 90s were peak Lego. Yeah, they were. 100%. 100%. Oh, I love Lego. Lego's so good. What's the problem with it?
I think it's the noise, the noise that it makes. Because if I use my hand blender, I have to put her in the cupboard because she doesn't like it. I say put her in the cupboard.
Oh, it's slimy.
We did used to call her Harry because we turned the cupboard under the stairs into her little den. And there's a stair gate on it so that if people come in the house who don't like dogs, I can put her safely away. So she has to go in the cupboard if I turn my hand blender on.
There you go, it's Doggo. See, you get to see Doggo. There you go, it's yours. I'll stop spinning it then, but I like to spin this thing when I'm sat on the stream.
Look at that tail! Look at that tail! Oh, I love her.
We had action men. My brother also. We often had like the same toy, but not quite the same toy. Sometimes there were subtle differences. Sometimes they were just the same toy because we were two years apart-ish, right? And he was less careful.
What?
Yeah.
I won't have it.
So there was occasions where he'd break his toy and be really upset. And we had bunk beds, and I'd wait till he was asleep, and I'd swap the toys over.
Aww.
So I'd put the broken one in my drawer, and I'd give him the fixed one the next day.
Yeah.
So he'd wake up and was like, "It's fixed." I'm like, "Yeah, it's fixed." Stealing the show here, aren't you? Liam's just baiting Evan all the time. I never had proper Transformers. On the topic of Thomas the Tank Engine, the creator of that show passed away recently. Did he? Oh, that's sad. I made forts for 40k with my Lego and Space Marines and set my Space Marines up on the walls.
That should be a terrain challenge for Joe.
So
Can he make Lego terrain?
Peachy has offered to come and play Star Wars Legion, which is a tabletop game. Obviously, it's not 40k, it's a tabletop game, but with Lego, because he's got enough sets that we could play the game with Lego figures instead.
Fine, I will pay the dog tax.
Thank you so much,
dog.
for the two, you legend. It's members we're short on though, chat. I changed it away from 40k to Warhammer. I thought I'd become more all-encompassing. People glad for Warhammer. I'm glad for Warhammer. The other thing is, although we say why does 40k always come back on top, I'll be straight up. I'm always the most zen, the most chilled when I'm just sat here with a set of snips and a scalpel or a paintbrush and some either normally some Eldar or some Space Marines. It just is. If I'm having a fucking week of it this week. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. There's no particular reason for it. I'm not looking for sympathy, but I'm having a week of it. And so what I've done a couple of occasions. I've just come down here, sat down, scalpel snips, put something on the screen, and just built some models. So I'm grateful for it. I'm very grateful for Warhammer, and although it's almost like I'm saying it's negative that 40k always comes out on top, I'm kind of glad, because it's how I sit and just chill. I think for a lot of people it's probably the case as well, how you sit and just relax a little bit. You do it with your knitting.
I love
You'll
it.
disappear up into the rocking chair upstairs, like I said, from 1812, and just sit there quietly with a podcast on, right?
Yeah.
And you calm. You empty your cup.
Yeah, it's the repetitive movement, I think.
My first Games Workshop was Warhammer Fantasy, as I prefer large rank and file games. I quite liked old fantasy, I'll be honest. And I was fully prepared to dive into fantasy when Old World was released, but I think they've done a terrible job of re-releasing that game. This is shitty, buffering every few seconds, silly weather to the YouTube. It's fine here, mate. Oh, I know what might be going on. Hang on. Thank you, Jack, for the 10 gifted memberships. Let's see if this fixes it. I might try and fix your buffering issue, Escapade. Jack, thank you for the 10 gifted memberships, you legend! And then Mr. Deep Fried AA Ron, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. You legend. Late fee, I'll allow it. Has Luce tried churning her own butter?
I want to.
Do you, really?
Yeah. But I'm at war with myself as to, is it wastage of cream to do that? Because what if it goes wrong? Because buttermilk.
But isn't that not true of anything you try and make in a kitchen? What if it goes wrong? It's a waste.
I have to be okay with the wastage in my own mind first. That there was nothing else I could have done with it.
Has anyone else had buffering issues, by the way? Just out of interest. My bit rate was quite low. I've just fixed it, but the hobby part of 40k is very zen for me. Plus, it prevents me from becoming one of those weird model train dads. If I had the space, I could be a model train dad, I reckon. The trouble with it, they didn't have any models to release. Everything came out, and stuff they didn't release, they just told you have to convert it in White Dwarfs. Building is my least favourite part of the hobby. Always cutting my thumbs or gluing them together or gluing bits together that don't belong. Love the painting and playing though. Interesting. Thank you so much, you two, for the 15 gifteds as well, legends. We're over halfway now, team. Just one lot of 50, we're done. I can go to bed.
You didn't want to watch SAS tonight?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I think 40k wins is because it's more popular and has more people playing it than AOS, even though AOS is better in all aspects of the hobby. I don't know if I'd agree that AOS is better in all aspects of the hobby. I think there's winners and losers on both sides. So for me personally, there isn't an army in AOS whereby you can do things like kit bash a custom Space Marine chapter. You can do custom colour schemes and stuff like that, don't get me wrong, but I think, for example, kit bashing Space Marines is a fucking phenomenal part of 40k that you won't get from AOS. No buffering issue, stream just crashed a lot. Yeah, it crashes here as well. Interestingly, the screen constantly shuts down and I have to reboot the whole fucking thing whilst I'm live and just make sure I've caught everything. I need to... The thing is, I'm in the position where my old partner manager has fucked off and told me that I'm going to have a new YouTube partner manager, but my new YouTube partner manager hasn't introduced themselves to me yet, so I don't have my new YouTube partner manager, so I can't say to them, can you fix this fucking issue, please?
What I think Chaos is missing for me is combos and wider army synergy. But I hope painting my Lord of Change this month will revive my hobby love.
I think that... So I don't disagree with you, Lekman, actually. I think a lot of that's fair. I think for me, the biggest thing they could do is make more fun missions. I think the secondaries, or battle tactics, if you're an AOS fan, is one of the biggest parts of the problem for me. Turn 1, seize the centre. Like I think it's too chess-like. It's too predictable. It's just it's a personal gripe. The core rule set's solid. It's absolutely solid, but I think the missions are a bit dull. Kit Bash is a lot more difficult nowadays with the whole one arm, one leg, and the back is one piece. Yeah, it is harder. Joe does some phenomenal things though. Speaking of stream crashes, mine just did. It happens a lot. Lee, who did the deck last night, sent me a picture at Christmas of his train going around, his Lego train, his electrified Lego train going around the base of his Christmas tree. I was so jealous. So jealous.
It does look really like
so
Christmas
jealous.
cardy train going around the tree thing.
Yeah, I was so jealous. Not that I could have that with the children and the dog around.
No.
No, ever. So once they've all died, we'll be all right. Perhaps too few missions. Yeah, maybe. Perhaps. But like I've got so excited about Templars and Eldar at the moment that I'm not even looking at the AOS that's on the shelf next to me. Lee the Legend, he was a legend, yeah. I told you battle tactics were a problem. You did. I remember. You were right. You also knew AOS a lot better than I did at the time. I have all my dad's trains and track in storage for when the day comes. Most of it was bought for me as a birthday present as a kid. I don't know, it was secretly just for him. Although I'm not a completionist, I am a completionist when it comes to Lego, and I'm still itchy because we haven't finished James's battle bus.
I don't think I was always a completionist. I definitely butterflied from project to project as a kid. Definitely.
Oh, I do that now.
And I don't know why Mario seems to have hooked me in to complete the whole thing, every box ticked on that, because I'm not sure that anywhere else in my life and my free time activities that I'm a completionist.
Yeah.
I think it's just Mario. So I don't know why.
That's interesting.
But then I can pick up the controller and I'll say to James, I'll only do 2 tries, I'll turn it off again. And sometimes he's gobsmacked that I'm not then hooked in for 4 hours. I can just, I was a bit crap today, and then I'll turn it off.
I've put games on, started a game up, started a mission or whatever, and not even finished it and gone, I'm not feeling it, turned off. I've just not even finished that particular go.
I'm hoping that because he does see me just pick it up and put it down, that it helps him pick it up, put it down.
Yeah, Elect man, you're sound, man. Don't worry about it. Edwards, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Tyler, thank you for the 1 gifted membership. We're heroes, absolute heroes, one and all. You're legends. Up to 57. Yeah, you don't sound like a dick, man. You're good. Don't you worry. I'm chill with the chat anyway. To be fair, despite that, I mean, like this happens quite frequently. I'll be honest, chat. Sometimes you lot are my therapy, and I go on stream in a pissy mood, and I come off. I'm like, oh, glad I did it. I felt better now. I laughed a lot. It was good, right? So don't worry, you're good. I agree that AOS battle reports are dull to watch. I don't think you find out as much of the mechanics watching as you do with 40k. I think that's one of my biggest issues with it as well. Is I think as content, it's a bit, and the numbers reflect it. Unfortunately, it's a shame. We're not going to knock it on the heads. Joe's determined to keep it going in the future and do more shows, but I'm going to give him the option. Like, and if he last night, if he said he wanted to play AOS, I'd have played AOS, and I wouldn't have moaned about it. I'd have just played it, and I'd have been the same as I was yesterday. But I've been like that a lot with video games lately. It's called old age. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I put something on, I start playing, I'm like, I'm not feeling it. I'm not in the. And if I'm not feeling it, because I'm old and my response time isn't so good anymore, I'm just like, I'm not going to have fun here, so just turn it off.
Yeah.
That's it.
I've never been sucked into video games ever, really. I remember as a kid, even playing on the grey box Nintendo, getting very bored very quickly, but it was raining outside.
Yeah.
And my brother wanted to play computer games. That was the only way I could play with him.
Yeah.
Was if we played computer games. Which is time with my brother, but I remember being very bored of a computer game very quickly. But is that a girl versus boy thing?
It can take a lot for a game to actually hook me in, to be fair. Yeah. John McCardle, are you ready, Luce?
I'm ready.
John McCardle, you fucking beautiful human being, getting us just over 3/4 of the way there. Thank you so much for the 20 gifted memberships.
I hope for you, John, on this lovely Wednesday, that your tumble dryer repairman doesn't cancel on you within the hour he's supposed to turn up.
Yep. Just as you're about to start your towels wash.
Yeah, and then you end up with wet towels that now have to be air dried, and then it's the dry towel thing, and they're not nice. So I just hope for you, John, that you get your cancelled repairman before you set the towel wash.
Yeah.
That's what I hope for you, John.
Put that Imperium crap down. Come on, man. It's Templars. At least it's the coolest Space Marines.
Templar?
Templar? Give me that much at least. Templars are the coolest Space Marines. I've built so many pointy ears lately. I need to start sanding them, and I don't want to get the super glue out yet. I'll probably get the super glue out on Saturday and start sanding so I can start airbrushing on Saturday. Thank you so much, John. Anyway, you're a legend. What an absolute hero.
What, Ash?
Was it 50? Oh, sorry. You're right.
I hope your tumble dryer repairman doesn't sleep with your wife.
Yeah, it's just the whole the porno star, isn't it? All the repairmans turn up. All the...
Oh, is he on about porn?
Yeah, he's still
Has
young.
Ash just
He's still
discovered
young.
porn?
Yeah, he's just found out what Pornhub is.
Oh, I see.
Honestly.
I see. I'm getting it now. All right.
Yeah. He's, you know...
Are they still using the same lines, like the same ideas?
I don't know.
Set the scene. We're still having
He saw
the
it
repairman
once
at
on a
the door.
website, then it accidentally went off in his trousers.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, he had to wipe off his 4 pubes and then...
You know, perhaps then, Ash, learn to do laundry before you watch the porn so you can save yourself an embarrassing situation when your mother does your laundry. Maybe.
Prefer salamanders. My nephew likes salamanders. Apps updated. Yeah, apps updated is today. Yeah, I don't think... what do you mean never Imperium Shite? Wait, man, it's Templars! Templars?
Is it from, what's his name? What does he go? Fix up, look sharp. Who does that? He was British.
No, it comes from fucking that shit show that we watched at Christmas.
No, I know we made it sound like Gavin and Stacey, but it was a rapper. Oh my God, what was his name?
I don't know. Don't spin on that chair though, because you'll get dizzy.
Fix up, look sharp.
She didn't pick up on that.
Was his name something to do with Dizzy? What? Who was it, babe? Oh, Dizzy Rascal. Okay. That might have kept me up, you know, if you hadn't done that.
Well.
Thank you, Garsty.
Unbelievable.
Fix up, look sharp.
What's the other lyrics?
I don't know.
No. Well, at least you're thinking now.
Templar.
Fucking Jesus. Yeah. You're right. Anyway, you were right about 77 members. What is 77 now? Thank you so much, you amazing people. As if Joe wasn't doing Mia Malkova wishes half a year ago. Not that any of us knew who that is. Well, no, he does, though, doesn't he? As a handyman, I've never had it happen. You're not trying hard enough, Squid. You're not trying hard enough. That's the problem. PT2 in the part 2 in the past, and you just got on plan played, never knew when a new edition was coming. This is why I'm hoping Horror Heresy doesn't do this. Doesn't do what, Garsty?
I have a question for Squidfist.
Hey, I dislike elves a lot, but they look pretty, so I let them off. Imperium look like shit. Templars don't look like shit, Rayman! How dare you?
I'm going to ask my question. For Squidfist and any other handyman tradesman that does house calls, how many people offer you a cup of tea or coffee when you need to repair something in their house?
I offer every tradesman that comes in.
Yep, I have a thing on the tea and coffee cupboard door
For our regular tradesmen.
that has how they have their coffee and tea.
Yeah.
And I had one of my friends round for a cup of tea, and they asked me what the piece of paper was, and when I said that's all the handymen, because this is a rented house, most landlords have their preferred handymen to come in, so you get to know them, and that's how they have their tea and coffee. And she thought it was very unusual.
It is a bit unusual.
And when I said, don't you make tea and coffee? And she said, no, I don't even talk to them.
It is a bit
and I
unusual.
thought, well, that's unusual and rude.
To be fair, Luce is from 1812, so a bit behind on the 2000s British rap.
I got there.
A new edition this year? I don't think you'll get a new edition of Heresy this year. You might do. Isn't Lonely Housewife sex the only reason to go into the handyman life?
Yeah, since Jeremy Kyle got cancelled. Yeah.
Who?
Jeremy Kyle.
Jeremy Kyle, yeah.
Yeah.
They're all lonely now.
Okay, good. So I'm not the unusual one. My friend is unusual then. I thought it was normal to offer tea and coffee.
Always offer tea and coffee, it's the way. Yeah. Well, I mean, I always offer them a tea and coffee, but having the list up is a bit weird.
Only because I have a memory like a sieve.
Fair. But what dog? What do you want?
Oh, sometimes people make or buy me lunch, which I always enjoy.
You can't go a
Aw.
step too far. I bet you charge them a fortune as well. What are you doing?
Well, I don't know. Our boiler man, do you remember when he almost had to condemn the boiler? Was that 2 Christmases ago? He was here for so long. I was making the boys brownies. I almost made him cookies just for him and his son because they were here for hours.
Oh, Rob?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Offer a hot beverage. Age of Darkness box was only like a year ago, right? No, I think it was 2 years ago, wasn't it? 3 years? 3 years. So if you think this year was last year was AOS, 2024 was AOS, 2023 was 10th edition 40k, so 2022 was Age of Darkness. Summer 2022. I'm expecting a big announcement at the LVO, to be honest. Well, we've got the 5 a.m. stream next week. I'm not sleeping at the moment anyway, so bonus, isn't it? Extra content. 20 minutes to go, chat. 23. Just 23 members to go, Luce.
Just 23 members to go. Just 23 members to go. So if you want to let me know when you're in the studio, you got 23 members before you got to go.
What I need to do, by the way, right, is I need to record you singing that
Yeah.
for every possible number.
That's the 23, a 3-syllable number.
Yeah, every single possible one.
Oh, every number.
So I can have a little soundboard at the studio as well. So there's like 25 members to go. I can just press a button and then it'll be your voice.
But it only works if it's a 3-syllable number.
You can make it work. We'll
So
practice.
if it's like 27,
We can
it doesn't-
practice. We can practice it.
doesn't
It'll be fine.
work.
You're doing 5 a.m. stream, yeah, for the preview next week. For next week's preview, 5 a.m. Friday morning UK time. I will have got back a couple of hours before that from watching Southampton probably get absolutely penetrated by Manchester United. So, reward me. I really hope not, with Horror Authority not being one of the main games was talked about tonight on SM+. How do you know that? No one watches that. And the poll voted for no new edition. I mean, the polls, unfortunately, largely irrelevant in Ghastly. I reckon end of 9th edition, a lot of people probably would have gone no new edition, we're in a good place, and they'll bring it out anyway. If they think they can make money on it, they'll bring it out. Gotta go back to misery at work. Sorry about that, Alec, man. Hope it's not too bad for the rest of your shift, dude. Did we miss the news today? No, I missed the news today.
We missed the news.
Yeah, you didn't even have a news story ready, did you?
No.
Alec, man, thank you for the one gifted legend. I hope you enjoy
all
work,
out of
dude. I hope it's not too bad.
You can do it, Luce.
Yeah, Lucy, you can do it.
I can do it.
22 members to go. Southampton's Man United's bogey side. I mean, Southampton has historically been one of Manchester United's bogey sides, Kai, but that was before we were utterly, completely, and totally dog shit. Totally dog shit. So... we'll see. We've got another Liam and Joe show tomorrow. Good news. Tom thinks he'll be back. Apparently, confirmed actually not appendicitis. So...
I think it was just a big fart.
just a big fart, innit?
It
Yeah.
just had a quite, like, a nasty bit of trapped wind.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Great big fart.
That,
It's fine.
normally that's what they give you antibiotics for. Trapped wind.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
So we should have Tom back tomorrow, which is nice. I don't know if he'll be back for the Liam Tom Joe show.
No, you need a new name for that now.
Why?
Because now it's just like Liam and Joe show. Especially when Joe wasn't there, it was the Liam and No Show Joe show.
The No Joe Show. News today has been quite miserable. Why don't these TV people just report on positive news? Doesn't have to be much. Because no one fucking... I don't like watching the news. Luce puts it on every morning. And it is, you know, in all seriousness, it is worth keeping up with current affairs. But it's so fucking miserable, isn't it? All the time. It's negative and miserable, and it's grown adults squabbling all the time. It's just, but unfortunately, as we've learned, if my title was a bit different tonight, what the fuck is happening to 40k? I'd probably have another 100 people watching right now. That's the problem with it, unfortunately. I'm not going to do that for clicks or views or likes. I think the core audience appreciates the fact that we won't do it for that reason. If something negative is negative, then we'll talk about it because it's negative. If something is positive, we'll talk about the fact that it's positive and everything in between. But news is all bad news, bad news, bad news all the time. Everything's awful. Everyone hates each other. Ugh. Didn't you used to get a special newspaper?
I did. I used to get the Happy News.
Why did you stop it?
We just stopped reading it. It's a great little newspaper. We just stopped reading it. And it's quarterly. It's not...
is it?
Yeah.
Because that's how little good news there is.
Yeah, I guess. Well, there's lots of good news. I don't know. Maybe it was more efficient for them to do a quarterly newspaper.
Yeah. Yay for Tom. Also, Tom and Paddy are a great on-screen pair. Kudos. He did all right, didn't he? To keep the public negative. Oh, it's awful, isn't it?
If ever the news is really getting to me and it's starting to perpetuate a low mood and I can't drag myself out of it, I put kids' TV on.
Yeah. If you're fed up of shitty, horrible, miserable news, chat, one gift of membership.
I can highly recommend Hip and Posy.
What we'll do, if we can get to a point where we're doing, like, I don't know, many gifted memberships per day, we can turn ourselves into a 24/7 Warhammer news channel. It won't just be me, obviously. That'd be weird.
God.
Yeah, but we can imagine that.
Is there that much Warhammer news?
No. But we can cover all sorts. On air 24 hours a day. We could become the new, like, we could sit there on Sky next to BBC and BBC and Sky News 24, but like, we're the happy people. Don't watch them miserable people. We're the happy people.
We'll tell you what the weather's doing.
Yeah. It's raining sideways. Jack, thank you for 20 gifted, Jack, you legend. 20 gifted from Jack Allen Loose.
I hope for you, Jack, that when the tumble dryer repairman calls up to get a new appointment, that it doesn't fuck up the rest of your week. Because now you have wet towels that are going to be like Rivita to trying to dry yourself on. That's what I hope for you, Jack.
Oh my God. Everything going to be temple repairman related?
At least it's a real hope.
I had terrible abdominal pain. Culminated at 6 a.m. I told my wife I was driving myself to the hospital. My wife kept telling me, I get that all the time, you just need to stretch. That's fucking mad.
You just need to stretch.
Change it to annually for the happy news. Vomiting from pain, and several hours later I had my appendices removed. Guess it wasn't just a stretch then, was it? Henry Cavill said, what? 40k is dead after this shocking admission. 600 viewers straight up, I'll bet. 100%, yeah, absolutely. Without doubt. But I won't do it. I'm not doing that. Shit is negative right now, but in fairness, I'm not sure you can be positive about what the UK is currently embroiled in. I mean, you probably can't know, but I like to be in a happy mood anyway. I'd rather be cheerful. Mordy Hammer, thank you for the one gifted membership.
What is the best Warhammer 40k army for beginners?
Space Marines. Yes, the jokes. Thank you for the one gifted membership. Wee Man, thank you for the one gifted membership. Space Marines. Bland Space Marines is the best Warhammer 40k army for beginners without doubt. There's not even a question. It's not even content. Not even content. Ash got a hat trick.
No, Wee Man did.
Wee Man got a hat trick. What a legend. Yes, and thank you for the one gifted. Wee Man, thank you for the one gifted. You're all legends. Ash, plain Space Marines is the best Warhammer army for beginners. There's a number of reasons, right? First of all, power armor is one of the easiest things to paint. Smooth lines, straight lines, lots of raised edges for edge eye highlighting. It's the easiest to paint, right? Secondly, what the Space Marines do well kind of everything, masters of everything. Basically, they can shoot well, they can fight well, they're relatively durable, they're pretty forgiving. It's the best starter army. There's no question.
That's okay, Luce. I'm a mechanic, so I use steel wool balls to clean the oil stains off my skin. So dry towels is a treat.
I used to use wire wool if it was really ingrained.
Wouldn't that
Yeah, you need to get it because you saw my fingers were like when I was working on the overhaul project.
Yeah.
It was literally ingrained in fingers.
But wire wool? Surely they give you some kind of soap that helps get.
I mean, wire wool is just metal wool essentially.
Yeah, but going over your skin like that.
Yeah, it's right. You get tougher skin as well. You do get tougher skin. I bet he's got man hands. Ash, thank you for the 2, by the way. There you go. Give you a proper answer there. Boop. There you go. Space Marine is the best horde mode army. Well, I think the one I've written is like 40 models. Not that bad. Not that bad at all. Look at that, chat. 101. 49 away from a t-shirt. They are a fleshed out army with a role for every battle, so it doesn't matter how you want to run an army. Space Marines have you covered. Exactly that. Yeah, they cover every base. They don't excel really at anything. So if you master Space Marines, you're probably not going to necessarily win every event. But you master like Eldar or fucking Dracaria or something like that, they're a bit more difficult to master. You got a better. Do you know what I mean? Space Marines are the best beginner army. It's not even a question. It's not even content. So, Ash, the rules for a hat trick have changed slightly. So if you gift, chat, and upgrade, that counts as a hat trick. But Luce has added in some caveats. If you super chat 3 different colours, that counts?
Yeah, so the colours have to be different and the gifted amounts need to be different.
So you gift 1, 5, and 10, it counts. If you super chat 2, 5, and 10, it counts. Yeah, if you super chat...
because if you weren't here for the blue and green discussion last time, Ash, that's on you, not us.
Oh, so for the hat trick, you're grouping the blue and green.
You grouped the blue and green.
No.
We all said it was blue and green.
No. I grouped the blue and green into blue for the point system.
The point system is the hat trick system as well.
Oh, so you're using that for hat trick?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. But I grouped it specifically for the point system. It's not green anyway, it's teal.
Do you know, I feel like I need to buy my divorce lawyer flowers before we even get started, because arguing with you is enough to send me insane.
Don't argue with me then, it's easy. You got yourself your answer there, don't argue with me. And then you won't be insane, will you? Think about it.
So the blue and the green are together, and then... So the blue and green together, then it's yellow, orange, pink, or red. Yeah. And then all the gifteds. So you need to give different gifteds, but you can do a sticker as well.
So hat trick is aqua, yellow, and pink. Yeah, but hat trick could also be aqua, yellow, and 1 gifted membership.
Yeah.
Or it could be 1 gifted, 5 gifted, and then yellow. Or like Will Stewart did yesterday, it could be a $20 super chat, an upgrade to Acer, and 50 gifted memberships.
Oh my word.
I know, yeah. So, if you want to go big, chat, it's 10 gifted, at least a pink one. No one's got any balls. No balls. You're all no balls. So that works, right, if you do that?
What about balls?
So if you say no balls.
No balls?
No balls. Have you ever heard this before?
About no balls?
Yeah. Have you ever heard this?
As in balls or testicles?
Yeah.
Wait, balls for sport?
No.
Testicles?
Yeah. Have you never heard the phrase?
Testicles.
You never heard the phrase no balls? Have you not heard this?
As in you don't have a spine?
Am I on my own here, chat?
Is it about like courage or bravery? Like you got no...
Yeah, kinda. So someone would be like, one of the lads would be like, I'm going to drink this pot of paint. And then someone would go, no balls.
Stupidity then.
So if you don't do it, you've got no balls.
So if you don't do it, you're not stupid.
Well, don't say you're going to do it in the first place.
Right, okay.
It normally only comes off of someone... So what happens is, it only comes off of someone trying to big dick it in the first place. I'll eat this hot chili. And you're like, no balls. Shouldn't have said it in the first place, dickhead.
I see. So I feel like this is a boys' game, not...
It's 2025, Luce.
Not a girl's
All right,
game.
it could be either.
Oh yeah, it's 2025. I've been very good actually at writing 2025 on paperwork. I thought it would take me a couple of weeks. I'd have to cross out a whole bunch of paperwork.
Well, every time I do a members goal, I have to get it to expire the next day. So I have to put the date in. So it doesn't take me long, actually, with how many streams we do to get used to writing 2025.
True. Yeah.
Like the stream, you lazy shits. Yeah, exactly, Brian.
You won't need to buy them flowers. There's no way any judge would rule in Liam's favour anyway.
I bet they would.
My shoulder hurts.
I bet they
every
fucking
time I
would.
laugh.
If I started to explain what I have to put up with, I bet they would.
Yeah, I think it would be an open and shut case, if I'm honest, in my favour. I think it would. I think it would.
I don't think it would.
I think it would.
No.
And anyway, you said that if I leave, you'll starve to death, so I can't leave anyway.
Hey, yeah. What? What did you say?
You said if I leave you, you'll starve to death.
Oh, Jassy will get a hammer in, yeah.
Ow.
You can't leave. Look, your back hurts. You can't even laugh. Squaddy wife that doesn't know no balls. Well, the thing is, Si, I did a very good job of keeping her away from all the squaddies.
Yeah, he hid me away.
Yeah. In a cupboard. Yeston says, sorry, Yeston, we were corrected this on New Year's Eve. Just realised it's 2025. You mean qualifiers? A sidewalk is a paved area on the side of a road to walk on comfortably. Without that qualifier, you're walking through grass, mud, or puddles. Qualifiers, what are you about? Hey, what? The cheapest possible hat trick, $1.99, one gift, and a free t-shirt from the giveaway. What? What do you mean a free t-shirt from the giveaway? What are you talking about? What are you talking about free t-shirt from the giveaway? That doesn't count. Merch doesn't count anymore. We discussed this on stream. If you weren't here, it's very much a you problem.
Merch doesn't count because I'm the one that does the merch, and the Shopify page that comes through to me is half an hour delayed. So if you did buy merch in the last sort of 5 minutes of the show, it wouldn't come through to me straight away. Plus, your YouTube name is very rarely your actual name, so trying to match up the merch to the YouTube name, it was almost impossible, and it just became a bit of a headache.
Yeah, exactly, Jorfin. Jorfin's got my back here. If Luce leaves because she knows it would cause Liam's death, she'd be guilted of predetermined murder.
There's
Premeditated murder.
Shockingly high statistic of something like 80% of murders committed by women are premeditated. It's a shockingly high.
Men are oppressed.
Or just women are getting pissed off.
Men are oppressed. If that divorce lawyer's male, one conversation with you, he's like, I think we're fucked. I've been here for months. I've missed so much. We've missed you, Paul. We missed you. Do you remember Loose Fact, though? Hopefully you remember Loose Fact. Ash misses discussion on stream. No longer can be top chat. Yeah, absolutely. Loose Fact is still a thing. I saw you prepping one. Are we ready for Loose Fact? We have got to the end of the evening, you wonderful human beings over in chat. Over in Chatland. The Chatosaurus Rexes. Chatty McChattersons. And I'm tired. I've got a dishwasher to swap. Not the actual dishwasher, the contents, to be more specific. Because you lot take everything fucking literally. I've got a dishwasher contents to swap and a program to watch for an hour. Because I want to wind down and then go to bed. And maybe tonight I might sleep all the way through to the morning. Who knew? Who knew? Friday night jokes. I miss Friday night jokes. We should bring Friday night jokes back this Friday.
I'm not very good at them, though.
Friday night jokes this Friday. The person who puts a joke on a super chat that makes me laugh the loudest or the most will win a prize.
Right. Speaking of, I still need
To finish your homework?
the police station to message me on Discord for free t-shirt giveaway, and Ginger Yeti and Jayco the same. So So if you don't want your free shit, then that's fine.
Don't
but
nudge them, Luce.
I should.
This is how we make money. We don't remind them of their giveaways.
I'll remind you, chat.
No. No. And if you did put an order in, put it in right. Fucking loads lately. Loads. I would too like to sleep all the way through, Liam. Stefan, just you and I will just think about each other tonight in bed, naked, and then we'll sleep all the way through.
No, I think Stefan's going through enough. I don't think he needs to think of your naked body while he sleeps.
No?
Poor guy. No.
Might help.
No, it won't. It won't. It won't. Run while you still can, Stefan.
What happened to monthly hobby submissions? We should do one of those soon, actually, on a hobby night. That'd be good. I'm up for that. We'll do that soon. I'll be game for that one. Right, you wonderful human beings. It's time for Loose Facts. It's that time of the night where Luce is going to read you her fact from a book of not so factful facts. At which point you have to decide if it's true or false, loose or loose.
The summit of Mount Everest is about the size of 2 ping pong tables. I nearly said 2 ping pong balls.
That I would have called bullshit on that one. Because no one's standing on that, are they?
That'd have been a mighty fine summit. You could put your fingertip on it. I reached it.
Yeah, but you can't stand on it, Luce. So how do you put your fingertip on it?
Part of my body is on it.
How?
Because a fingertip. Yeah. Yeah.
You go to Warhammer. When's that? Excuse me. When's that? One true, one false so far. They're obviously less enamoured with this particular fact. It's taking long to come through. Or what they're doing now is they're Googling.
Yeah, I wonder if they are Googling.
What I think of Liam naked when Joe is our resident sex symbol. Well, fuck you then, Mike. You can have Joe. It's true, the dumbasses push each other off. Watch the documentary on it. There's no mountain summit that flat. Interesting. People are torn. Mostly people think it's true, though. 2 ping pong tables. It's not a big space when you think about it, is it, really?
But a ping pong table can fold up in half.
I don't think they're thinking of that, Lisa, when they wrote this fact. I think they're thinking when they're flat. I'll be honest. That's wild. Right, you wonderful human beings. It is time for us to part ways for the evening, because we are not yet a news channel. We're not yet 24-hour news channel, all right? Soon.
What would you have along the ticker tape? Along the bottom? Would you have, like, what chaos is happening in each universe?
Ash's latest stupid fucking comment. We'll have plenty of different options.
Okay. Okay. What the weather's doing in each world.
For example, we're talking about the summit of the highest mountain in the world, where mostly people die, and he put worn down from all the sightseers. Not sure they're sightseers are like tourists with fucking cameras and...
Oh, I see. Yeah, there's...
Not really a sightseer at the top of Mount Everest.
They're quite serious if they're...
Yeah, really a sightseer.
They not just got off the coach with their Nikon camera.
Anyway, right, thank you so much for hanging out, you wonderful human beings. I hope you've enjoyed the show. If you have, please make sure you smash that like button before you disappear this evening. Tomorrow we're back at 1:30 with the Liam and Joe show, possibly with added bonus Tom, because he's not as sick as he said he was. Liar! So Tom's back tomorrow at 13:30 for the Liam, Joe, Tom show. I did go the Joe, Tom, Liam show because it's like the Mark, Tom, Travis show, which was the Blink-182 album from 1999, I think. And then we'll be back in the evening at 7:30 with another live game of Warhammer 40k. Don't ask me what armies are being played because I haven't yet decided what army I'm going to play. Joe was on about playing Raven Guard, so I have no idea what I'm going to be bringing to Das Party. But look forward to that tomorrow evening as well. Then we'll be back on Friday at 8:30, Luce and I, with 40k After Dark. And I need to phone the mead people back as well, actually, because I've run out of mead. And they phoned me today and said, what mead do you want me to send you? And I was like, yeah, actually, I need to do that. And I didn't phone them back because I didn't want to talk to anyone today. Didn't want to talk to anyone. So, you know, there you go. Thank you so much, you wonderful human beings, for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you so much for all the gifteds. Thank you so much for all the super chats. Some super interesting first toys there. I'm a fan of that one. You people are amazing. Hopefully we'll catch you tomorrow for the Liam and Joe show at 7:30. Before we go, anything to say, Luce?
Best chat.
Best chat. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.